About the weekend outlook straight ahead.
Serving the people of East Tennessee. WATE 6 on your side news at 4 starts now.
Philip Fulmer announced his retirement at the beginning of the week, and now we're getting to know his successor. A look at the process of getting Danny White to UT.
And changes to the state's vaccine plan, more vaccination clinics and more frustrations. We are talking everything COVID-19 vaccine.
Plus, it's a case we've been following for about a year now. The announcement for prosecutors when it comes to punishment Megan Boswell will face if she is convicted in her daughter's death.
All right, of course, our top story this afternoon, Danny White introduced today as athletic director at the University of Tennessee. Tim, you're obviously here with us right out the top of the show.
Yeah, to think this week we've had a coach fired, an athletic director stepped down, and now an athletic director has been hired. Jordan Kramer was out at that press conference today. Jordan, it's been a whirlwind of a week, hasn't it?
Tim, it's pretty crazy when you think about it that this time on Monday we were exiting a press conference in which Philip Fulmer resigned as athletic director, and today we're talking about his replacement after having met him today at about noon. It's just been such a quick turnaround for this university, but that is something that Chancellor Donde Plowman said the school's urgency in finding Philip Fulmer's replacement in this athletic director position is something that shows their continued promise to really their school and to athletics to move Tennessee athletics into greatness. Now, how did all of this go down, and how did it all go down so quickly? I'm going to run through a quick timeline for you. Chancellor Plowman said she spent Monday evening and Tuesday all day vetting calls trying to figure out what this school needed in their next AD. Tuesday night, Plowman and Danny White met for the first time through Zoom. Wednesday morning, another Zoom that included Randy Boyd and Chairman John Compton. That group then flew to Orlando on Wednesday night. The news, of course, breaking on Thursday. Now, the search firm that was involved with this athletic director hiring presented a diverse group of candidates, but Plowman said it was clear that Danny White was their guy.
But they said when we called to see if he was interested, he said, I could win a national championship there. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they told me. And I think the way he talked about this has been a big brand. This has been the iconic brand. And it might not be flourishing like it has in the past. Let's get that luster back. And so I told someone that was sort of drop the mic moment for me.
I felt like Chancellor Plowman had her own mic drop moment this afternoon when she talked about the people that she had reached out to on Monday and Tuesday trying to find some of the characteristics for an athletic director. Well, one of those people was VFL Peyton Manning. He reached out to his former coach, Coach Cutcliffe, who of course now is at Duke, and said, hey, what should I tell her are some of the characteristics? Well, Coach Cutcliffe said, hey, you should probably look for someone like our athletic director at Duke. That is Kevin White, Danny White's dad. Jim?
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
That, you know,
Family affair.
Who's more like Kevin White than his son, Danny?
There you go. Good point. And you know what? Today, we've also got that signed memorandum of understanding between White and the university. So what's in that?
Yeah, White has a guaranteed base pay of $1.8 million that will increase by 5% annually.
And now I also understand he's also going to get annual incentive compensation up to a maximum of $300,000 per year. We've got this all right here in front of us. Now, depending on the team athletics performance, that is. That's not all. He's also getting a one-time moving allowance of $35,000, and it says the use of 2 vehicles as part of the athletic department's courtesy vehicle program.
And now, everyone, we are tracking coronavirus this afternoon. Tennessee Health Department Commissioner Dr. Lisa Piercy is announcing changes to the state's vaccine plan. They include adding correctional officers and jailers to Phase 1A1. It also adds people living in households with medically fragile children to Phase 1C. The state is also backing up the vaccine timeline for people 65 and up. Originally, that age group was projected to begin getting the vaccine next month.
I can't say that I will get to the 65 plus population in the month of February. If the floodgates open and all of these vaccines start coming in the first or second week of February, that timeline will be accelerated.
Dr. Piercy says the federal government pledged more doses by the end of January. So far, she says weekly shipments have remained the same. As the state nears the 500,000 mark in vaccinations, a Monroe County man is sharing the struggles people face in rural areas. Dennis Armistead tried to register for a vaccine online. By the time he filled out his information, the appointments were booked. He was put on a waiting list. At 78, he grew eager to find out his place in line, but he says he couldn't get an answer.
Well, I think it's a lot of pressure on you thinking, what if I got the disease now and I'm this close to the vaccine? Wouldn't it be something? I'm within days. I should have had it because I'm right up at the top. I'm listed, I think, as a 1B. So I'm right up there with the frontline worker. So
yeah, you hear Dennis's story there, and we're happy to tell you he was able to get that first dose today. Coming up at 6, hear why he fears friends and neighbors may give up on getting vaccinated altogether.
More people in East Tennessee did get the COVID-19 vaccine today at another vaccination clinic from the Knox County Health Department. Hundreds of people, in fact, got the shot today, and more are getting vaccinated tomorrow. Appointments for Saturday's clinic opened up on the health department's website at 11 this morning. When we say they went fast, we are not kidding. 1,000 appointments to get the first dose of the vaccine were filled in no time at all.
We were shocked. 3 to 4 minutes is how quickly that site filled up today. I was saying I even called the individual managing the site and said, is that real? Are the people scheduled or did it crash? Because it was so fast.
Now moving forward, KCHD is working to create a new online registration system that will include an automated wait list. So it was real. Those spots were filled. More information on this system will be available next week.
Well, 2 Knox County schools are moving to online learning because of COVID-19. We have a list right here. West Hills Elementary and Central High schools will move to online learning on Monday. That's January 25th. Officials say this is expected to last for 5 days. Students will return to in-person February 1st unless something changes. Also, the Knox County Health Department is reporting 2 more deaths from COVID-19, but the total number of deaths has decreased since yesterday. The total now is 431. Health Department officials tell us this is because some cases were transferred to other regions. The department is also reporting more than 3,300 active cases today, and 127 people from Knox County are currently in the hospital.
New at 4, Planned Parenthood officials say someone fired a shotgun into the door of the Knoxville Center. The group says it happened about 6 this morning. No one was hurt. The center is on Cherry Street. It was closed at the time. Planned Parenthood officials say an eyewitness and surveillance footage confirm it was a shotgun blast that caused that damage. The center is going to stay closed through the weekend. Extra security will be on hand when it does reopen Monday. And Planned Parenthood's regional affiliate says this is the first reported act of targeted violence in its history. And they think the timing of the vandalism is no accident, with today marking 48 years after the Roe v. Wade Supreme Court decision. Knoxville police just got back to us about this, describing the suspect as a man in a dark-colored 4-door car holding a shotgun. He wasn't there by the time police got to the scene, we are told, but hey, if you've got any information, please do call KPD's crime hotline.
Also new at 4, prosecutors are not seeking the death sentence for Megan Boswell. The Sullivan County District Attorney General's office said today they would be seeking a sentence of life in prison without parole should Boswell be found guilty in the death of her daughter, Evelyn. Boswell, as we've been reporting, is charged with 2 counts of felony murder, aggravated child abuse, and several other charges. We began following this story almost a year ago when an Amber Alert was issued for little Evelyn, and she became the center of a massive search in a number of states. Her remains were eventually found on a relative's property. Megan Boswell has a status hearing for May 14th, and of course, we'll keep following her case.
All right, now let's take a look at the weather. Checking on the forecast with WATE 6 on your side, Storm Team meteorologist Matt Hankins. Hey, Matt.
Hey, Summer, boy, it's turned out to be a great day. It was cloudy this morning again, and a lot of thick fog for some of you. Once we got the fog turned off nicely, and look at the satellite replay. You can see where the clearing line all the way down toward Athens and Atlanta in Georgia. Everything to the north is mostly clear, and that's where we're going to be most of the night. So if you're going to be out going to the Ice Bears game or any plans outdoors, you'll definitely need the cold weather jacket. You'll need to, won't have to worry about rain gear. It's going to be dry tonight, but temperatures temperatures dropping to 51 right now in Oak Ridge, 52 in Knoxville, 51 in Maryville. Pretty much the peak warmth of the day. And that's what we get this time of year, about 46, 47 is the average high. 52 in Madisonville, it's 51 in Dandridge, and 52 in Townsend. So these are current temperatures. It will be a cool start tomorrow morning. I don't expect as much fog as we saw this morning, but look at the view. Boy, it's cleared out. Purchase Knob, looking to see the snow-capped mountains way off in the distance. In good shape tonight. We're going to be in good shape for most of the weekend. It's going to start out on the nice side, but look at the temperatures. Yeah, 21 in Oneida and 24 Wartburg. This is first thing tomorrow morning. Early risers, yep, it's going to be a cold start, but we've got some good news for most of the weekend. I do stress most of the weekend. More coming up in a few minutes.
We'll take rather than, nothing.
There
so
you
that's
go.
good. Thank you so much, Matt. Well, 2 former employees of the Knoxville Utilities Board cheated on time and got paid at least $10,500 for time they did not work. This is all according to an investigation carried out by the State Comptroller's Office. The investigation began after KUB reported some questionable compensation payments to state officials. Investigators found a former engineering associate was paid at least $7,800 by falsely reporting 365 hours he didn't work. That's a little over 45 8-hour work days. He reported these hours, they say, between February 2016 and November 2018 when he resigned. In July 2019, we're told he reimbursed KUB for the amount he was paid but did not work. Now, a second employee who was a student worker was paid at least $2,700 by falsely reporting at least 196 hours he did not work between 2018 and May 2019. He was fired that May, and we're told he also reimbursed KUB.
Sun is shining. It's Friday. It's a great day to be out on the roadways right now. Take a look at it. TDOT SmartWay cameras giving us a good look at the afternoon drive. Matter of fact, 640 Clinton Highway had an incident earlier. It just cleared a few moments ago. Traffic moving along fine through there. Also over near Zoo Knoxville right now, you're not going to have any delays on 40. Paper Mill, I-40 interchange, traffic looks good, east and westbound, and 275 northbound. Heading out of town of around High School. Not going to have any issues right now. But if something changes, we'll let you know about it. Let's make our way over here to the maps, give you another idea of just how things are shaping up for the afternoon drive. A lot of green on the map. That's what we like to see. And if you are headed westbound on 40, just know once you get past 640, speeds right now rolling along. Paper Mill, not bad either at 33 miles an hour. So should be okay on Paper Mill as well as I-40. For 75 northbound, 63 miles an hour up around Merchant right now. So traffic heading out of town looking really good. And then 40 east, once you cross the Holston River, pushing 70 miles an hour. Matter of fact, 71 right now is what we're seeing on average for you. So traffic really moving at a pretty good clip there. Take a look at the drive times for you right where you want to see them. 640 traffic looks good. 40 westbound, no problems right now. Eastbound, Pellissippi to Asheville Highway, 16 minutes. Alcoa Highway, 21 minutes right now between Knoxville and Maryville. That's southbound Alcoa. Northbound coming up from the airport, about a 14-minute drive for you. And just a short drive, 40 eastbound. Cedar Bluff to West Hills, just a blink of an eye. 2 minutes and you're there. Lori?
Love it. All right, coming up at 4, imagine a world where you can't just Google it. That could become a reality for some. We'll explain. And baseball legend Hank Aaron has passed away. We're taking a look at his life of greatness, the legacy he leaves behind. Plus, President Biden is keeping busy his first few days in office. The latest executive orders from the president's desk.
A few thin clouds south of us. They're moving away, but will they stay around or return later in the work week? I'll check it all out for you in a 7-day forecast next.
Here's Knoxville's most accurate forecast from the WATE 6 on your side storm team.
Hope you enjoyed the sunshine today. Felt pretty good this afternoon. A little bit on the nippy side in the shade, but we're going to be clear and cold again tonight. And so tomorrow morning when you wake up, get out early, it's going to be cold for sure, but pretty much dry for the weekend. The rain is probably going to return by late Sunday, but until then, we're just going to enjoy things, okay? As we start off this Friday evening with mostly clear skies. Sitting at 45 in Crossville right now. It's 49 in Middlesboro. 54 in Dayton, and as the sun gets lower on the horizon, these temperatures will fall pretty rapidly. Probably seeing temperatures in the morning in the upper 20s and low 30s. That's what we're forecasting right now. How about 27 in Maryville, 22 in Crossville. There actually could be some upper teens and low 20s in southeast Kentucky and southwest Virginia. And of course, that Crossville reading at 22 degrees with Greenville 24 at this hour. Forecast low, not quite yet, but it'll be there early in the morning. Hey, good time for Ober-Gatlinburg this weekend. Cold enough at night where they can make some snow again, so they're in pretty good shape right now as we head toward the early part of February. January, February, good seasons. We're going to hold on to the chilly air and sunshine in the forecast tomorrow. Now, what about the rain chances for the weekend? Zilcho on Saturday, so we shouldn't have to worry about that. Only about a 30% chance on Sunday. You'll notice a gradual increase in clouds there, and there's that 80% chance of rain on Monday. Could have some heavier downpours as well, so we're going to keep an eye on that as it approaches our area later in the weekend. In the short term, that high pressure is going to build in control there right through the Great Lakes and pull cool, dry air down into East Tennessee. This is 6 o'clock tomorrow morning. Mostly sunny skies. You get going for the afternoon. This is 2 p.m. Saturday afternoon. Should be seeing mostly sunny skies, a few thin clouds. And by the time we get into Saturday at 5 p.m., there we go with the clouds increasing from the south and west. And those are the clouds that will likely bring our next chance for rain into the forecast. This is Friday or Saturday morning. Notice that warm front lifting to the north and east, and as it does, everything behind that warm front starts to get a little bit more humid, a little warmer as well. This is 4 p.m. Sunday afternoon, still dry, but by the time we get done with the rain that develops as we go toward the latter part of the weekend, this is Sunday evening through Tuesday. So that's talking about an inch to an inch and a half, and even isolated cases could be 2 inches of rainfall over the whole event, even though this isn't showing that much there. But we will see some areas, especially up to the north, that could see 1 to 2 inches of rain. But everybody's probably going to see some rain on Monday if you don't get it in here on Sunday. 27 is the forecast low tonight with clear skies, a little bit of a light northeast breeze. Forecast tomorrow, 47. We're in pretty good shape as far as that's concerned, as far as temperatures go. 7-day outlook shows ice bears in place tonight, as we talked about. Weather aware Monday, that's for the possibility of the heavier rain, and about 54 by the time we get into Wednesday. Looking at the numbers for the next 7 days, you're at 44 on Thursday. There could be a little bit of a light mix late Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's partly cloudy, and we're looking at 47 on Friday as well. Hey, it's a matter of fact geography style. Which of the following usually has the most volcanoes? Is it Alaska, Hawaii, or Mexico? We're going to talk about that. I know it doesn't have anything to do with weather, but well, in a roundabout way it talks about it, but we'll get a chance to answer that and more coming up. Summer. Lori?
Hey, it's interesting. Thank
Good.
you, Matt. We appreciate it. COVID-19 hospitalizations across our country are edging downward, but health officials are still on alert and urging caution because of the potentially more contagious variant of the virus from the UK. New at 4, ABC's Elwin Lopez has the latest on the pandemic.
400,000 Americans have died. That's more than have died in all of World War II.
President Biden taking aim at the pandemic in a, quote, full-scale wartime effort as the nation tries to rein in a crawling vaccine rollout. The goal, to get 100 million doses in the arms of Americans in 100 days.
We need more vaccine, and we need it now.
The city of New York now in dire need as it burns through the last of its supply today, forced to turn away thousands of people scheduled to get the potentially life-saving shot. And in Los Angeles, it's the sluggish pace of distribution. Miles-long lines like these at Dodger Stadium as people wait in line for up to 5 hours. In other parts of the state, elderly residents say waiting is just not possible.
We do have friends, a couple of friends, that are simply not able to stand in line for any length of time.
Meanwhile, some hospitals across the country already nearing capacity. Arizona, Georgia, and Nevada holding the highest hospitalization rates per 1 million people.
Our hospitals cannot handle another surge in COVID-19 patients on top of their current workload.
This week, Georgia shattering its single-day record of COVID-19 deaths for the 5th time in a month. All of this as the new, more contagious variant of the virus could become the more dominant strain by March.
There's a possibility that with the variants here, we may have a dominance of those strains that tend to transmit more efficiently.
UK officials warn that new variant may also be deadlier.
Now appears that there is some evidence that the new variant may be associated with a higher degree of mortality.
To protect yourself from any strain of the virus, health experts suggest adhering to public health measures, such as social distancing and wearing a mask. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, Atlanta.
State lawmakers here in Tennessee wrapped up their special session today. The goal to help students, schools, and teachers bounce back from the COVID-19 pandemic. Governor Bill Lee's office is touting 3 major bills passed. One helps students stay on track academically. It requires efforts like after-school mini camps and summer learning camps for struggling students. Another bill requires schools to use a phonics-based approach for reading classes in kindergarten through 3rd grade. The other extends last year's move to keep students, teachers, and schools from facing negative consequences over assessments hurt by the pandemic. Also, lawmakers passed a measure to bump the salary part of Tennessee's education funding formula by 4%. Governor Lee today praised the work of leaders in the legislature, calling the outcome of the session remarkable.
Our kids needed us to be urgent, and they needed us to work together, and they needed us to get this work done, and I'm deeply grateful to each one of you.
Tennessee's Democratic caucus has been critical of the session, saying it failed to address a teacher shortage or what the party calls a funding crisis. In a series of tweets, State Senate Minority Leader Jeff Yarbrough called the teacher pay raise, quote, puny, called the summer reading camps underfunded, and writing, quote, we shouldn't pretend that jamming through these bills without hearing testimony from a single superintendent, principal, or teacher is a good way to make public policy.
Also new for you at 4. Today, Google officials threatened to make the company's search engine unavailable in Australia. The company made the threat in response to the Australian government's plan to make tech giants pay for news content. The country's prime minister quickly hit back, saying, quote, we don't respond to threats.
Australia makes our rules for things you can do in Australia. That's done in our parliament, it's done by our government, and that's how things work here in Australia. And people who want to work with that in Australia, you're very welcome.
In its current form, the code remains unworkable, and if it became law, would hurt not just Google but small publishers, small businesses, and the millions of Australians that use our services every day. There is a way forward that allows Google to pay publishers for value without breaking Google search and our business here in Australia.
The mandatory code of conduct proposed by the government aims to make Google and Facebook pay Australian media companies fairly for using news content they use from news sites. Well, like in many other countries, Google dominates internet searches in Australia. The managing director of Google Australia and New Zealand told Australian senators about 95% of searches in the nation are done through Google.
Baseball icon Hank Aaron died today at the age of 86. According to his assistant, Aaron passed away peacefully in his sleep. New at 4, ABC's Elwin Lopez looks at the legacy he leaves behind.
For the 23 years Hank Aaron played in the major leagues, the game of baseball was very much like the video itself, black and white, especially on April 8, 1974, when he hit his 715th home run to break Babe Ruth's record. He passed Ruth's record only 28 years after Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier in Major League Baseball. This was the height of Aaron's career, but it was tempered by death threats and racist hate mail. Still, the Hammer, as he was called, is regarded as one of the greatest hitters of all time. Hammering Hank hit 755 home runs during his Major League Baseball career, making him America's all-time home run leader for the next 3 decades. Aaron started his career with the Milwaukee Braves, which ultimately became the Atlanta Braves. He then played for the Milwaukee Brewers in 75 and 76. He retired in 1976 and was elected to baseball's Hall of Fame in 1982. A few years later, he published his autobiography, I Had a Hammer. He was born in Mobile, Alabama in the midst of the Great Depression in 1934. He taught himself how to play baseball, and during his early years, he batted cross-handed. He said because no one told him not to. But he went on to break grounds for African Americans in professional sports. By 1972, Aaron's $200,000 salary was the highest in the league. Since his retirement in 1976, Aaron has held several front office roles with the Atlanta Braves. Aaron was known as a reserved man and never a fan of stardom. On January 5th, in Aaron's last tweet, he says he was, quote, proud to get the COVID-19 vaccine and encouraged others to do the same. Elwin Lopez, ABC News, Atlanta.
Coming up at 4, we are checking in with young Williams this Friday afternoon, helping a pet get adopted. What makes this cat so special? You're watching WATE 6 on your side. News at 4. We're going to be right back. Well, are you a veteran and in need of some legal advice? You can get some at an upcoming legal clinic without leaving your living room. The Knoxville Bar Association and Legal Aid East Tennessee are offering a phone-in free legal advice clinic for veterans. Veterans can get help with landlord-tenant issues, benefits, criminal defense, child support, estate planning, and a whole lot more. The free clinic will take place February 10th from noon to 2 p.m. and you do have to register beforehand, so do note that. The registration deadline is February 8th. If you'd like to register, here's the number right there on your screen. It is 865-637-0484.
NBC will shut down the NBC Sports Network at the end of 2021. That's according to the Associated Press. The AP says NBC Sports Chair Pete Bavacqua made the announcement in an internal memo to staff. The network, best known for carrying NHL and English Premier League games, as well as NASCAR and IndyCar races. Well, still to come here at 4, President Biden keeping busy his first few days in office. We're tracking the moves he made today. Stay with us. You're watching WATE 6 on Your Side News at 4. We'll be back.